Champagny. Right back. Dylan Harper for three.
There you go. Big shot from the rookie.
Hand off Harper in the corner. Harper again. All the way. Beautiful move from Dylan Harper. The most in a Spurs game this year. Barnes on the drive. Leaves it for Luke Cornett. Fox stops, kicks, Keldon for the lead. A big one.
It's a man's board.
He's got 5 of those tonight. Fox stops and hits. Timeout Memphis. Backcourt violation. Shot clock going down. It's at 5. Fox dancing and hitting over Jaren Jackson Jr.
Well, that game was a fun one last night. Jesus. Wow. Just when you think that, they were gonna give it away. Hold on a second, let me fix the camera. I'm at work, by the way, so you're gonna have to forgive me if it's so much noise in the background, because this place is not quiet. So therefore, I thought for sure that it was gonna be a neck and neck. No, I'm doing a Spurs game review. I'm trying to think outside the box. That's my friend Ashley, by the way, one of my heavyweight name friends at work. So therefore, a little shout out, and even though she's close proximity to me. But anyway, so Spurs really proved how much of a fourth quarter team they were last night. Just like the November 18th game, which was Nathan Kress's Antonio Daniels Boris Diaw 33rd birthday. They managed to pull away from the Grizzlies and figure out how to play team basketball when it mattered most. And you can thank Mr. 100%, the savvy vet, Harrison Barnes, for putting up 31 points, a season high alone, let alone a career high in terms of its tenure with the Spurs. Dylan Harper, the rookie, was great as well. And let me tell you, seeing him and Carter Bryant up there is chef's kiss. Beautiful. Both of our rookies should be sharing the floor together at the same time, which is why Mitch Johnson, R.C. Buford, the Holds, Brian Wright pop in the front office used to give Carter more minutes instead of, what the cats will say, quote unquote, sending him to the G League to develop. No. Last time I checked, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and Carter Bryant are not, our previous rookies. I mean, to be fair, Keldon's the only one that's excelled, from being a rookie stuck in the G League to being a part of the big boy team. But outside of Keldon, Harper, Castle, and Bryant are not, the previous rookies that never got a really legit shot with the big boy team. These rookies that we have this year, the one we had last year, are built different. Hell, not even Boban Marjanovic and Jonathan Simmons and Duncan's last year spent this much time in the G League or D League, whatever the hell you want to call it. Did I mention Davis Bertans as a rookie? And the first year without Duncan, barely was more with the big boy team than he was with the G League team. And DeJounte was 50%. The G League team 50% with the big boy the same season. Sean Elliott, David Robinson in 89-90, Duncan in 97-98, Parker in 01-02, Ginobili 02-03. Got the call with the big boy team immediately because, guess what? Pop saw their potential and knew they had what it takes. So this is what the case is with Harper and Bryant, as well as was the case with, Castle a year ago. So therefore, I'm glad Carter Bryant's getting all the minutes that he deserves now, and I hope to see it continues even when everybody's back full song. So therefore, it was a good game last night. I mean, sure, there was it was physical in the beginning with Edie going at Sohan when Sohan was trying to steal the ball, and they both hit the ground, and all Sohan was trying to do was get up, and then Edie committed a hostile act. So I don't even remember. I think it was I don't think it was called a hostile act, but they just called it an offensive foul. But I bet you if the tables were turned, it would have been called a hostile act. So But either way, these refs need to be investigated or something. I mean, sure, and the officiating's lopsided, but this is twice now they, made questionable calls, even if it's only for like one or two portions of the game, and not. Because don't forget, the Denver game was officiating was lopsided in Denver's favor, and yet we still found a way to win. That was like a questionable call that they could have called a hostile act against Edie for doing what he did to Sohan, but that was called a common offensive foul. But anyway, I'm not complaining because we still came away with the victory. I mean, it was neck and neck from the first quarters 1 through 3, and and like in the fourth quarter, the Spurs, showed the true potential that they have, even with our two of our three best players out, as well as one of my homeboys, Jordan McLaughlin. They're using lessons they learned from last year when they would have big leads and then they would blow big leads because they would build big leads and then get too comfortable and get relaxed and ended up blowing them, and as a result, never gaining it back and losing the game as a whole. This year, even when they blow big leads or about to let a winnable game slip away, they learn how to close it out and hold on to the lead, or figure out how to play basketball when it matters most. So it goes to show that this year's Spurs team is nowhere near the level of the Spurs teams of the last 6 seasons, both pre-Wembanyama and Wembanyama's first 2 years. But this team is going to be ultra scary when Wembanyama, Castle are fully back healthy, full song, and when J-Mac is back healthy. But even when J-Mac's healthy, I have this bad feeling that when everybody's healthy, J-Mac and Biznak are going to record a lot of DNPs with, Harper, Castle, and Fox healthy, along with the point guard position, as well as, Cornette and False Patty healthy. So as much as I hate to say it, the only minutes I see them getting, like I said in past Spurs videos this year, is garbage time minutes during a blowout, whether our opponent's on the receiving end or we're on the receiving end. So I'm choosing common sense over personal feelings and favoritism. So therefore, we have a game tonight against the Magic in Orlando at the Amway Center. So I will see you guys sometime later on tonight, going into tomorrow morning for that game review and or Spurs Roundup episode. No, we're going to do a game review later on tonight or going into tomorrow morning, and sometime throughout the day tomorrow we're going to do a Spurs Roundup episode dedicated to what we will see in the Friday night game that I will be at in person. So there's an intense game of Uno going on with my friends in the background. So let me just get off this thing and enjoy the rest of my day here at work with my peers. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. I will see you all for tonight. I'll see you all for tonight's video later on after the game against the Magic in Orlando at the Amway Center. So see you later, everyone. And as always, go Spurs, go!
Go, Spurs, go!
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.